want to know about something very specific that Nick is not going to care about at all.
Okay.
But I've been thinking about this. Tell me about it's a two-part question.
Okay.
First part is tell me about your love affair with Resident Evil. And B, tell me about your love affair with drawing Resident Evil characters and other characters as snails.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I need context for this.
Have you ever seen the back of this man's whiteboard?
I draw these. I have over 100.
You make those?
I draw over 100 of these.
Tyler's a good follow on Instagram.
No kidding. That's sick.
And the first time I realized that you had the Nemesis on there, and you had I think you had a Jill Valentine one, I believe, right?
No, just Nemesis right now, but I want to expand because it's always in my head.
So are you a RE game fan or a movie? Like where's the love come from?
So I will be honest, it did start out with the movies. Just catching them on FX. Just, when you're like, I guess like preteen was probably when it was right around the time Extinction came out. So like 2007-ish time.
Yeah.
So yeah, right around like that teenage. I really love zombie movies, and I just loved how wacky these ones were, and just like just the ridiculousness of them. I mean, it captivated me. Like I was talking to a friend of mine a few weeks ago, and they were like, "So what do you think of like the Resident Evil movies?" And I was like, "What do you mean? The ones I just randomly watched 3 times this week?" And I was like,
"Yeah,
like
they are." Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say, I don't know. I really love those. I know they're not good movies.
They're not, but
I know that for sure. I thought they were really interesting. And then a few years ago, so I'll be honest, I don't really play horror games. Like I've played some, but
are you a gamer in general, or?
Yeah, I do love playing games. So something about me. So when I was a kid, I was afraid of everything. Like I really I watched Jurassic Park 3 for the first time when I was like 6, and it terrified me. The troll from Ernest Scared Stupid terrified me. Everything did. And eventually I outgrew it, and I love horror movies now and everything. But that's because I can disengage from them. If you play a horror game, you're in this thing.
Yeah.
Like I can't just be like, oh yeah, I wonder what's happening. No, you die. You have to restart. It's like it just constantly punishes me. So I was like, I can't do this, but I've always wondered like what is actually Resident Evil. So I started watching there's a lot of videos of gameplay of them. Like I've watched 3 different channels play through Resident Evil 2, and I love that game. And it's like, but I tried playing that game, and I was just like, I can't. It's
the
too
OG
dark.
or the remake?
The remake.
Remake, it's amazing. It's so good.
I love it, but I'm just like, I just can't do it. But
that's honestly I think there's in the gamer. In the game world, there's this stigma for just watching that I don't like if or even getting help with games. I was talking to Adelaide Spence about this recently, where they were reaching out to me for help on Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3 and FromSoft games. And I just said, I'm listen, I never understood these games until I got help. And I found a Let's Play that was here's how to play this game. And now I love those games, and I have this whole new appreciation for them. So I think, if you're someone who cannot play horror games, but you love horror and you want watching them is totally a valid thing to do to get it and get into the story. And because the Resident Evil games, very different from the movie.
Yes, yeah.
And the lore is very very deep and different, but the lore of the games is deep. So have you played any of them?
The most I've played was Resident Evil 7. I played that one.
The scariest one, Tyler.
Yeah, but I was on call with my buddy, so he was able to talk me through it and make sure it was all okay. He was also playing it at the same time, so he'd be like, "Hey man, just so you know, once you turn that corner, it's gonna get you." I was like, "Okay, I can do this. And so I went around the corner, and it got me, and I still freaked out, but at least I knew it was coming.
Oh my god, yeah, that is the scariest one. That's for the movies. Have you seen the animated stuff?
Yeah, I watched some of them. I think I need to go back and rewatch them because a lot of them I watched before I knew more about the world.
Yeah.
So like when I watched Death Island, when that finally dropped on Netflix, I was like, wow, I actually understand what this is and like how this fits in. So I need to go back and rewatch the other ones now that I'm like, I know who these characters are.
Death Island came out when I had COVID when it came out, and I watched it like twice in the same day. I adore it. I think it's so good. I that's the thing. Once you get really in with the characters, like I had played 4 when I was younger. That was my first game. That's a good starting spot, like the original 4 or the remake, because it has the perfect blend of like action and horror. So like there's still some scary stuff, but like it's an action game. Like it's very action packed. But like when I really got into the series, and I started like to fall in love with all the different characters, and then I start watching these animated movies and the characters pop up and stuff. Like it is very, very rewarding. And then what are your thoughts on the 2020, what is it, 2021, I think the Welcome to Raccoon City came out? Have you seen that? What are your thoughts on that?
Like I know it's unpopular, but I kind of love it.
I do too. I
Welcome to Raccoon City?
Yeah.
Welcome to Raccoon City. Yes. So Raccoon City is the main, not the main. It is one of the central locations of of Resident Evil 2 and 3.
Interesting.
It
Are
is
there raccoons in it?
No.
There's some creepy drawings of raccoons in it.
That's true.
Yeah.
No. But have you seen the Netflix show? Because that is bullshit.
So the most depressing thing about the Netflix show was I was so excited it was happening, and it dropped on my birthday. And so
no.
I spent part of my birthday watching this terrible, terrible thing they created.
It's just well, and that's the thing is like it's just not Resident Evil. Like it doesn't feel like Resident Evil at all. Whereas like the Paul W.S. Anderson movies, like they don't feel like the games, but they at least pull stuff. Like Umbrella is a huge presence. Like Nemesis is there. You have Leon, and you have a Chris Redfield, and like you have they're terrible iterations of those characters, but they're there. And you have like there's so much goofy ass shit in Resident Evil that makes like in the games that make like absolutely no sense. Where I'm like, yes, of course, this is beautiful, amazing. Yes. And then they do it in the Paul W.S. Anderson movies, and I'm like, mind control. That is dumb. Why would you do this? This is fucking stupid. So it's just nobody likes Resident Evil. I love Resident Evil.
No, it's so good. I got the steelbook of all the movies right over there. So
I do not have the steelbook, but here, I'm gonna grab my baby. This is
sorry, Nick.
No, this isn't intriguing.
So this is the one that I have for the Mila Jovovich one.
Okay.
And so they're all in like cases like that. So they're not steel books, but which one's your favorite?
I think of the Mila ones, probably Apocalypse. I mean,
really?
Obviously. I think so. Like, I mean, I know.
Oh, that's right.
Like,
well, actually, I think Final Chapter is my least favorite.
I feel maybe I need to. It's been a while since I've rewatched Extinction, and I've started to gain an appreciation for the first one more since I've learned more about the world. Yeah. Like, I understand that like there's more of that, and I also
have a soft
understand
spot for Afterlife.
I love that they went with like the prison concept in Afterlife, and I love the executioners. Like that's maybe some of like my favorite design that they've done in that entire series was the giants. I don't know, kind of pyramid heads, kind of not.
Yeah. Oh, so much good shit. I need Nick to play some video games.
I played video games.
You played Super Smash Bros.
Sure did. Wii Sports as well.
Are there any other games or any other like weird movies that you're like ultra fan of that like you think would surprise people?
I don't know. Seeing as most of the things I like are in fandom, if I say those are weird, then that's probably not going to come off well.
I would say at least half that shit's pretty weird.
Yeah.
Killer in a hockey mask goes to space and turns into a robot and crashes back down to Earth. It's very weird.
Like one of like
A little bit.
again, this is like an ultra popular series, but we just don't talk about video games and in this community very much. But like I love Assassin's Creed.
Oh yeah.
Creed is a good
I root for like video game movies. I like wish that was a better like
yeah.
genre.
They're having some luck on TV. Last of Us was very, very good.
I love Fallout. Fallout was so good.
Fallout was very good, and I don't love those games.
Is that the one where Walton Goggins doesn't have a nose?
Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
The other one that he doesn't have the nose.
Yes, of course.
yeah, that's right. No, Fallout was very good. I really enjoyed it.
For New Vegas, that one was a fun, incredible game, first of all. But also, I was born in Vegas. And so if you go to Nellis, like, it was really dumb. But, like, I was also, like, in high school at the time. But, like, I went to Nellis Air Force Base that's outside of Vegas. And the boomers there that, had all the rockets and everything, I would always recruit them because I was born on Nellis. So I'd be like, well, I need to because that's literally where I'm from.
Yeah.
And then I said that to my mom, and she was like, "I was really lame. She's like, yeah, you were born in Nellis." I was like, thanks.
That's funny. Yeah, I agree with that. I root for the video game movies, and I tend to. There are some that I can acknowledge are terrible, like Resident Evil, but I still love them because I love like the Assassin's Creed movie is bad.
Yeah,
but I love Assassin's Creed. The 2018 Tomb Raider movie was not good. Also Walton Goggins.
Oh, I forgot he was in that.
But I love those games. I really like that version of Lara Croft. So like I enjoyed that movie. So I think it just kind of depends on the franchise.
I think Super Mario Bros. Is set up perfectly to make the Super Smash Bros. Universe, but they're going to mess it up.
That was an okay movie.
It was an okay movie, and but it set up a world that we could explore. I want a Samus movie where Samus teams up with Fox and Falco. I want a Link movie, like a.
They're doing a Zelda movie, right?
Yeah, but it's like live action, isn't it?
Yeah. The only reason
they're gonna mess it up.
So I know nothing about Legend of Zelda. The only game I've played is Breath of the Wild.
Wind Waker.
And the only reason I have any excitement for this movie at all is Wes Ball is directing it.
That sounds
okay.
And Nick and I have talked at nauseum about the Maze Runner movies and how they're actually pretty decent. But I thought Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes was excellent. I thought it was really good. So I have faith in what this guy can do with